This is episode 102 of the Rise Up podcast. We're a morning radio show hosted by Steve and Tim on Family Life, a network of stations across New York and Pennsylvania. This podcast is a weekly conversation designed to help you think and laugh and keep your eyes on Jesus. If you haven't already, subscribe today so you don't miss a single episode. And find out more about our show at familylife.org.
Today is the day the Lord has made. Rejoice and be glad in it. This is Rise Up on Family Life.
As in the tradition of the Rise Up podcast,
Yes.
the first one of the year, it is 2024, and we will once again do our predictions.
Oh boy, can't wait.
What's fun about the predictions is, as you were paying attention last year, the last podcast of the year, we go back
Yes.
to find out how good we did.
Yeah, you got to stay tuned and see if we got anything right.
That's right. So we will, here's my first, and it became such a big subject, as a matter of fact, all over everywhere in the media, was the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce relationship,
Yeah, man,
which
that
is
was
still in the midst.
A whole thing it is.
Here's my prediction,
Oh, no.
and I'm not going to give any details in the middle. I'm just going to say, by December 31st, 2024, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift will not be married.
Wow. Okay. Oh, not be married. You're not saying like they will not be an item anymore, though, necessarily. You're not saying it's going to be broken up?
No, I'm not
I
saying
can't
anything.
push you
I'm
for
just-
any more details?
No more details.
All right.
My prediction is simply on December 31st,
Look at me.
2024, as much as you want to dig, and much as you want to get details, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce will not be married. We'll
Okay.
see how that. Now, I'm not wishing them.
No,
that.
no,
I
not
wish
wishing
them
them
all the
ill.
best.
Sure.
I'm just. That's my prediction. That's all.
Well, that's good. And I like that we're kind of like letting them have their own free will. Like we're not going to try to determine things for them.
I am not the matchmaker.
That's good.
No. Okay. So, what's your first prediction?
Wow, it's so much less momentous than that, I guess you could say. But look, I've noticed something that happens in the summertime. People pick up these coffee trends and they start drinking coffee in like a new way. They're like, hey, this is the new thing for summer 2020, whatever. And they don't really stick. They're just fads, but people like pretend like they're really good. Coffee with orange juice was one I started doing it, and then other people picked it up. I won't say they got it from me. They didn't. But that was a fad a couple summers ago.
Okay.
Here's my prediction.
Okay.
We're going to see it, and if they're listening, they're going to take this idea. Seltzer coffee. Okay? Seltzer water?
Right.
Like bubbly water.
Right.
Coffee. Iced. It's going to be a thing. I think it's going to be a thing this summer. I don't think it's going to taste good. I don't think anybody is actually going to like it.
Is it going to be bubbly?
Yeah, it's going to be bubbly.
Bubbly coffee.
Bubbly coffee, but not like coffee soda. They're not going to sweeten it.
Oh.
It's going to be like this kind of hip, trendy thing I think they'll do. Somebody will, you'll pretend like you like it if you're kind of coffee pretentious. You won't really like it, and that's why it's only going to be a trend in summer 2024. Everybody's going to realize it's a bad idea, and they'll never do it again. But I'm predicting somewhere, some little niche coffee shop is going to make this into a big thing. Seltzer coffee. You mark my words.
If I have one, will I look more hip and trendy, you think?
Always. You definitely won't look pretentious. I'll at least say that much.
Okay. All right. So far, we have Travis and Taylor will not be married. We have
But they might be sipping seltzer coffee.
the bubbly coffee. There we go. I'm going to the automobile industry next for my prediction.
Okay.
And I have a little bit of reasoning behind this. Now, I'm not going to say the sales of this kind of vehicle will not increase. I'm saying they probably will increase. But I'm going to say the EV, the electric vehicle, sales will not increase significantly.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they might go up a little.
Right.
But, everywhere you turn, you're like, oh, the electric car and this. Here's why I say that. Because I was out recently, like looking at cars. And the first thing the car salesman said was like, here, why don't you drive this one? It's either, they either want you to drive the hybrid or the EV.
Did you get to drive an
I
EV?
did drive one. I drove one.
What was that like?
It was fine. It was good. But maybe it's just my age and my, they say I'm old school or those. It's like, I don't want to try anything new. I'm a little afraid of something. I'm afraid of change.
Okay.
And so there's going to be, yes, some people will do that. And I'm not here saying they're good or they're bad. I'm just saying that I think there'll be enough people that'll go like, I'm a little bit leery of trying something new. And so I say they're not going to significantly increase in sales in 2024. 2024. Although I wonder if they said that back, when the automobile first came out. It's like, I don't think this thing's going to work.
Let's see if this catches on. This little model what you got there, Ford? I doubt it.
Yeah, so I'm not talking about
Stick with my horse.
Right, yeah. They probably will increase more than the driverless car. Those driverless things scare me even more.
Oh, no, thank you.
Yeah,
more like passengerless. I'm not getting in that.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so the EV, the electric vehicle, maybe the hybrid will increase because you can still drive those normally with gasoline.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the EV will not increase significantly. And don't ask me more details. What does significantly mean?
No.
I'll tell you at the end of the year what I thought.
right. You get to look back on it.
It's like, that's not significant enough.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I like that one. EV. I've got another kind of technology-related acronym. AI. You knew I had to go here to artificial intelligence. AI will run for president.
Wow.
AI will run for president. Now, I'm not saying like it's going to get on the ticket or anything, but somebody in some state I'm convinced somebody's going to try to make the case to say like, hey, this program could do a good job of, I don't know, running a country. And somebody's going to try, like somebody always puts like Mickey Mouse and they write him in on like the ballot.
Right.
I think somebody's going to try to get AI on the ballot. Now, is it actually going to like go? No, it's not going to go through. But I'm thinking somebody's going to try to see if AI will run for president. Now, it's a really good idea if none of us vote for this because, you've seen The Terminator or you've seen iRobot or basically, any of the stories we've been telling ourselves for the last who knows how many decades of what happens when you put robots in charge. But I'm thinking somebody's going to at least try to make it a thing. AI for president 2024.
Okay. Now, on a technicality, if somebody named Alan Ingram runs for president, you're not going to say, "See, I told you."
No, I will. I will take that.
Oh,
I will totally take that for
we'll
myself.
Stretch that out a little bit.
I will try to take that.
Now, okay, for my final prediction of 2024, I'm going to the fashion industry.
Oh, like you do.
Well, like I do. The fashion icon is who I am. Now, we have talked many times about colorful socks and how even unmatched socks, but colorful socks have been a thing for a while now.
It's a fun thing to do.
It's a fun thing to do. But what I've also noticed is that, and you always wonder where fashion trends begin, and sometimes it's with the celebrities and the people you see. I've noticed more and more, and I'm talking about men now. They don't wear socks at all. They just, with dress clothes, they'll wear their dress shoes and no socks.
Wow, really? That's bold. I didn't know that was what was going on under the laces there.
Right. So here's my prediction for 2024. Someone will see this and go, "Aha! It's a fashion trend. No socks." I am going to invent see-through socks. Invisible socks that you actually put on but you don't see, so it can protect. Because I always think about bare feet in shoes, how like that's got to be tough on your feet. So if you invent a see-through or invisible sock, you can have that protection and it'll still look like you're not wearing socks.
Surely you've realized the only way to get them see-through is to make them out of some kind of plastic.
Hey, I'm working on the details.
Breathability is going to suffer like worse than... Oh, no.
All right.
No.
See-through invisible socks. My last prediction for 2024. What a great Christmas gift that'll be.
Please let us end it with that one. Oh, no, I've got one more. I've got one more.
Okay.
So I'm going to predict here. So 2024 has already kind of been predicted to be a bit of a drought year when it comes to entertainment. We had the pandemic a few years ago, set things back. We had the entertainment industry strikes that kept a lot of movies down. I think a lot of theaters, what you're going to be seeing is showing tonight Back to the Future, or showing tonight Star Wars, like old movies. You're going to be seeing reruns, I think, remasters, digital special release editions. But I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of movies that aren't new movies being shown in regular theaters, not in little special theaters. These will be in regular theaters. I think we're going to see a lot of those reruns, going back to things that we knew before. Because here's the thing. When the new lets us down, and I'm shifting gears here a little bit, whenever the new lets us down, isn't it the old and the faithful that's there for you? It hasn't gone anywhere. I'm thinking about like God's word. Bestseller, when is that going to not be the bestseller? The Bible. There's going to be self-help books that come out this year. Sure. There's going to be new age fads and trends that pop up this year. Yeah, there always are. People are going to be on TikTok and Instagram trying to tell you new ways to live your life spiritually. But you know what? God's way, the Bible, the church he founded, that's always going to be the oldest and the most faithful. It's going to be here for you, whether you're coming back to your faith or you're saying, no, I'm not going to leave this for anything new, because this is the only thing that's going to get me through whatever 2024 has in store for us.
Starting your day with fun and encouragement. This is Rise Up on Family Life.
Making new memories and revisiting old ones as our family all got together at our daughter's and son-in-law's house in New Mexico.
Amazing.
Over the holidays and celebrating little Gavin. Gavin, who's now
New
2 weeks.
baby!
2 weeks and 3 days old, but who's counting? And our son Will and his wife were there. So, it's been a minute since we were all together. Because when you hang out with younger people, you have to speak their language. So it's been a minute since we've all been together.
It's been a hot minute.
But here's the revisiting part. Speaking of that, we were all revisiting memories. They said, remember when Mom, this was back when our kids were younger, and they said something, and our son would go, a word. And my wife, Audrey, would go, what? He said, word. She, what? She didn't understand a word meant, right. That's the truth. That's the way it is. Bet. That's the new one? Bet.
Yes.
Bet. Yeah.
Yes.
So we all have to, use new terms as we're all together and we're visiting those ones. And because everybody looked at me, I was ready to say something. They looked a little sus at me. And I learned that. I just learned that. Did I use it right? Did I use it right?
Great.
Sus?
Yeah, it's a little sus the way you used it. But
I had to slip it in somewhere, but I just wanted to show you. You hang around with younger people and you have to kind of talk like them a little bit.
Right.
I did look a little sus. I looked a little sus.
No cap.
No cap. Sus, by the way, for those taking notes in the back of the room, is you looked a little suspicious.
That was a little off.
A little off.
Smell this milk. It smells a little sus to me.
A little sus.
No.
Yeah, and I just looked at it all and said, well, that's groovy. Sometimes I just forget. Sometimes I go way, way back.
Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. It's Rise Up with Steve and Tim on Family Life.
There's certain things that ought to be on a T-shirt, like there should be T-shirts that say, God is not a vending machine.
That'd be a good one. That'd get some conversation started.
God is not a vending machine. And the reason he's not a vending machine is because he loves you. He loves you so much. He knows better than to give you everything you ask for.
Oh, wow.
Because sometimes God says no. Sometimes God says slow. Sometimes God says grow, and sometimes God says go.
Wow.
Let me explain. If the request is just wrong, God is going to say no. If the timing is wrong, God is going to say slow. If you're wrong, God is going to say grow.
That's a good one.
And if the request is right, the timing is right, and you are right, God is going to say go. But just as a reminder, God is not a vending machine.
Coffee? Check. Music? Check. Fun and encouragement? Check and check. It's Rise Up with Steve and Tim on Family Life.
The most encouraging people aren't just born that way. Like these joyful super encouragers, you might know one of those in your life. These are people, they bring the light faithfully because they have seen the faithfulness of the
true.
light.
Yeah.
And here's where I, Tim, want to say that if Terese has encouraged you, it's because she gets this. Terese, the joy of the Lord, we all know this. It is your strength. And you know that because we know you've had to hold on to God's promises. I want to say this for all of us, Terese. Thank you for bringing the light faithfully here in the mornings on Family Life. Even on the days when it's been a dark day and the rest of us would have never known otherwise. We've talked a little already today in the morning about how, if you're listening Monday, folks are going to be hearing your voice, Terese, in the afternoons here on Family Life. Now, that's a cool new change coming up with Family Life's new show, Main and Gable, on the afternoons. But we know and trust in every way that the Spirit God has given you is going to keep being an encouragement to folks just at a different time of day. So, Terese, thank you for shining, whatever time of day it's been.
I'm not going to cry. You're not going to make me cry. I appreciate that, but you are not going to make me cry, Timothy Powers.
Thank you, Terese.
I just want to wait. I want to see if she does.
Reminding you that God is in charge today and every day. It's Rise Up with Steve and Tim on Family Life.
Hey, it's the Nutcracker in your attic. Can't you see me standing right here? Listen, why don't you pecan someone your own size? Sorry, your jokes probably all get laughs. All mine don't. All right, really, I'm done now. Truth is, we Nutcrackers get pretty bored in midwinter. By the time the next holiday rolls around, we don't have a single nut pun left to crack. Oh sure, I wear this perfect smile all year. You can always find me packed neatly in my box, dressed in my Sunday best, week in, week out. But all that joy we were singing about last month can fade pretty quick. I've got a secret, though, for keeping the spirit alive. See, from here, I've got a perfect view of that nativity set nestled in tissue paper in the corner. All year long, it's just me, Mary, and Joseph, keeping our unblinking, hand-painted eyes on the baby Jesus. That porcelain little Prince of Peace reminds this Nutcracker that Jesus came for January blues. The Lord was born for the doldrums of February. God is with us through every winter's night. The miracle of Christ isn't for one day in December. It's for the whole year. Take it from a Nutcracker in January.